All right, this is about my fifth take trying to do this. Hello, everybody. I know it's been a few months since I've done a video. I'm happy to say that my book is complete in its rough draft. So I decided to start doing a few videos again just to get you into the story. In the first few videos I did last summer, I introduced the main character of Bobby Rukeyser. And Bobby is a computer programmer, software programmer, specializing in artificial intelligence. And his focus is avatars, so he's creating avatars. And he's about to enter a PhD program at Stanford. So he's moving from Colorado, where he's from, to Palo Alto, where Stanford is. And he has a sublet that he's arranged, but it doesn't become available for a month. So he's going to end up staying with his uncle, who is an evangelical minister. And this chapter I'm about to read introduces the character of the uncle. His name is Ronald Anderson. So here we go. "My only goal is, and has always been, to win souls for Jesus," said the Reverend Ronald Anderson, as he stared into his computer screen. "You can't do that without money," said Marcus Reyes, looking back at Pastor Ron via a Zoom window. Marcus was the church's financial officer. "Jesus didn't have money," said Pastor Ron. "Jesus didn't live in Sunnyvale, California in the year 2021, said Marcus. "Look, giving has been down, way down, ever since the pandemic," said Marcus. "And if the church in Fort Worth cuts its funding, I don't see how we can continue beyond 6 months. Churches everywhere are hurting, Pastor." "Something will happen," said Pastor Ron. "I have faith." "I hope you're right," said Marcus. "In the meantime, we need to put together a contingency plan." "I'm sorry about all this," said Marcus. "I wish I had better news." The two men ended their call with a short prayer, and then Marcus left the meeting. Pastor Ron continued staring at the empty meeting room dashboard, and then clicked the button that read End. The New Hope Christian Fellowship made its home in a converted office space along the Lawrence Expressway. It had started out as what was called a seed church, subsidized by a large evangelical megachurch in Fort Worth, Texas, the House of God Fellowship. The Texans saw California as a mission field, filled with atheists and agnostics, and to the Texans there was no difference, who needed to be saved. Atheists and agnostics who also happened to be quite wealthy due to the billions of dollars flowing from Silicon Valley's high-tech industry. The church began in the early 2000s as the Valley was starting to recover from the dot-com bubble at the end of the Clinton administration. With George Bush coming into office and the nation taking a conservative swing, the Texans saw it as the right time to advance their cause. New Hope had gone through its ups and downs. The financial meltdown in 2008, trending liberalism in the Obama years, then divisions in the congregation over Trump. These were still Californians after all. But with Silicon Valley only getting richer and richer, everything remained quite solvent. It was the pandemic and the shifting to virtual worship that really began putting the financial screws on the church. And it was happening everywhere, even to the mothership church in Texas. Fearing that he and his church were about to be cut off by the house of God and end up on their own, Pastor Ron needed to figure out a way to keep things afloat. That's what the meeting with Marcus was supposed to be about, a brainstorming session. Instead, Pastor Ron felt like he'd been lectured about impending doom. Marcus was a numbers man, not a creative bone in his body, thought Ron. He needed someone who offered hope, a solution. He shut down his computer and began packing up to head home to his wife Cammie and their dog Gaucho, a three-legged Chihuahua mix that they had rescued from doggy death row at the Santa Clara SPCA. When Ron got home that night, he found Cammy and Gaucho sitting on the couch together, watching TV. Cammy was a curvy woman who'd just turned 40. She had long black hair pulled back into a ponytail. Her dark brown eyes were small and penetrating. Ron walked over and gave Cammy a kiss, then looked at the screen. A frazzled-looking middle-aged woman in an orange jumpsuit was sitting in a prison interrogation room being questioned by an investigator. The woman and the cop were speaking in a language other than English. Subtitles accompanied the dialogue. Another foreign crime drama, thought Ron. During the pandemic, Cammy had watched every American crime series she could find on Netflix. Now she was on to foreign productions. "What are you watching?" asked Ron. "It's a Norwegian police show," answered Cammy. "It's pretty good. I just started it. You want me to start it over?" "No, that's okay. I can't process subtitles right now." Cammy paused the show, repositioned herself on the couch, and faced Ron. "Is everything okay? You seem a little tense." "I'm fine," said Ron. "I had a meeting with Marcus before I left work. The church finances are in the tank." "Well, you kind of knew that already, didn't you? You've mentioned it before." "Yeah, I know." Cammy shut off the TV entirely and got up from the couch. At the same time, Gaucho awkwardly plopped onto the floor and hobbled over to Ron, who knelt down and scratched the dog's little round head. "I don't understand it," said Ron. "We came here on faith. Everything seemed right. The church building, the funding, the house. I felt like I had been called here. Now I don't know." "And what's to say you haven't been called here? Every hero in the Bible that was called went through trials before their calling was fulfilled. Joseph, Moses, David. Name me one who wasn't tested. Name me one who for who the red carpet just rolled out before them and they walked right on to glory." Ron smiled at his wife's admonition. She was the one who should be preaching sermons, not him. "Of course," said Ron, who got up from the couch and smoothed out the front of his shirt. "You're right." Got up from his crouch, and smoothed out the front of his shirt. "You're right," he said, and gave Cammy another kiss. "Tomorrow's another day." He then turned and headed to the kitchen. "You told me not to wait for you, so I went ahead and ate. Just salad and some cheese and crackers. I wasn't that hungry. It's all in the refrigerator, or I can make something for you if you like." "No, that's okay. Salad is fine," said Ron. About 10 minutes later, Ron sat at the kitchen table eating his salad and scrolling on his phone. Cammy followed him into the kitchen and began loading the dishwasher. "Oh, I wanted to remind you about Bobby. He's arriving next week, you know." "I know," said Cammy. "I marked it on the calendar." "It's only until he gets into his sublet," said Ron. "It's fine," repeated Cammy. "I always liked Bobby. He's always been very polite when I've been around him. He doesn't mind being around church people, does he?" "I don't think he cares. Like I said, it's only temporary. Besides, it's not like we're going to tie him up and try to convert him." "Maybe not you," said Cammy. "I was just thinking I should go to the garage and check to see if we have enough rope and duct tape." "Ha, ha, ha," said Ron. "Remind me again, what's Bobby studying?" asked Cammy. "Computer science. He's focusing on artificial intelligence, AI," said Ron. Cammy stopped and turned to Ron. "You mean robots, like on Westworld and Blade Runner?" "Well, I don't know if they're actually making robots," said Ron. "I don't think so. I think it's just all stuff running on a big cloud computer. And you talk to it using a virtual assistant, like Alexis or Siri. They're trying to perfect that kind of thing. Take it to the next level, you know. According to my sister, Bobby's a real genius. You can ask Bobby about it when he comes. I'm sure he'll be happy to tell you more than you'll want to know." Pat offered to pay us something until Bobby gets his place." "Absolutely not," said Cammy. "He's family." Ron nodded silently. "We're not to that point yet, are we?" asked Cammy. "No," said Ron, "not yet. I figure we're good till the end of the year. After that, if things don't improve, we'll have to start thinking about options." Sorry for my little blunders here and there. But anyway, that's the introduction of the character Ron, or Pastor Ron, and his wife Cammie, where Bobby's going to end up staying for a while before he gets his own place. So I'll have another video for you soon, and keep you informed as things progress. Bye.